Pretty story.
I saw that. My concern is how we're going to use such technology. We are humans, right?
We are. And we'll mess it up real quick.
Okay, call to order the April 14th meeting of the Upson County Zoning Commission 2025. Can we have a roll call?
Yes, sir. Again, for April 14th, 2025. All right, Commissioner Hilton.
Here.
Chairman Fallon.
Here.
Commissioner Murphy. Let the record show Commissioner Murphy is absent tonight. Vice Chair Rush.
Present.
Commissioner Lewis.
Here.
We have quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, first thing on the agenda here is adoption of the last meeting's minutes. Anybody have any objection to the minutes from last meeting?
I make a motion that we adopt the minutes from last month.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, next on the agenda will be old business, which is the application for rezoning REZ 202501, 10 Acres Lake LLC, Old Alabama Road and Williams Road. It's 266.36 acres, parcel 016-020-021, 021A, 021B, and 031A, AR to PM for 124 lot residential subdivision, light commercial, clubhouse, storage units, and RV parking. This is a continuation of the public hearing, and I think we've basically heard a lot from a lot of people throughout this process, and I think for tonight we're going to forego any testimony from either side. We've been delivered the packet of information from Serenity Lakes with a lot of information in it that we have had opportunity to go over. So do I potentially have a motion to close the hearing?
I move to close the hearing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, basically with this project that we have looked at, it in no way meets the current comprehensive plan for Upson County, nor the character area of the Spur Bluff corridor. That is an ag timber area with looking for low density housing. This project is definitively not low density housing in any way. Based on that, I personally cannot support this proposal as it is at all. Anybody have any comments? Or do we have a motion?
I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And what was the
That
motion?
to deny the
Okay,
zoning.
and do we have reasons for it?
Reasons for that it does not meet the current comprehensive plan for Upson County, the character area of the Spur Bluff corridor that is designed for low density, and this is definitely not low density project. This is a high density housing project, and just doesn't fit the character area. Okay. All right. Next, moving to Planning Commission rules, procedures, and amendments. On the Board of Commissioners resolution subdivision related moratorium. On commission discussion. Now we've all had a chance to look over what was presented by Upson County. For the 100-day moratorium. Are there any questions or suggestions?
Well, if you want to go back to B3B, Mr. Chairman, talk about your rules of procedure, and then I can maybe speak about
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I overlooked that. So, okay, we're gonna go to the rules of procedure, excuse me, then.
And of course, obviously, Mr. Chairman, these are the ones that, we've talked about for a couple of meetings now. So we've got the order, the new arrangement for this meeting will be an opening prayer and then a pledge of allegiance. And where the other changes, some that we had deleted, some changes, these are the ones that lasted and that we kept. That's sort of what I did one time before this meeting, that there'll be directions either by me or the chairman or somebody will give the instructions for how the public hearings are supposed to be conducted, which we have been doing for years anyway. This is also the requirement. What we've been doing for years is signing up on the sign-in sheet for the public hearing. However, this is new, that if you didn't sign up, then you're not going to speak. So that's new, and that's been added to this. And then we, of course, we go through the order that we have had, where it's now going to be the 10 minutes, the 5 minutes for the other speakers, and then the rebuttal time. We've gone back and forth a little bit on the numbers, but the 5 and 10 is what we had settled on. And, all right, I think it was the part that I added on to a little bit, and that was the yielding. I think we discussed this at the last meeting, where you wanted to yield time, and of course the Board of Commissioners, I had mentioned that they're going the opposite direction, but I determined when I was thinking about it, there could be some abuse. You get 5 or 6 people who never planned on speaking, and they claim they're going to yield their time, and all of a sudden somebody's got half an hour to speak. So I did the best I could in here to limit it anyway, that you can yield your time, but it's limited. Number one, you've got to, and you have to speak. You can't just limit all 5 minutes. You've got to speak for a couple of minutes and then yield your time. So I know we didn't discuss that, but when I started to think about how it might work, it could be abused. But ultimately, I put the final check in there, and that if they're abusing their privileges for donating time to another speaker, you can just declare them out of order, that they're not following in the spirit or the regulation, and that's it. So, Mr. Chairman, those are the changes to your rules of procedure.
Do we have anything you'd like to add or take away from that?
I don't.
Okay.
I totally agree with Mr. Courier on that,
Okay.
yielding only one person.
I'll make a motion we adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. You now have amended your bylaws, and you'll see a different agenda next
All
time.
right. Thank you for catching me on that. I
Yes,
overlooked
sir.
that when we went by. Okay, back to new business, which is the Board of Commissioners resolution for subdivision-related moratorium. We all have the copy of what they have presented us. Is there anything we'd like to add or see different on this moratorium?
Mr. Chairman, this is just something that they had been talking about for a while, and they asked the staff to contribute to the drafting. So the first portion here, under subdivision plats, that all subdivisions from now on, and the history and the major problem here that they cited was that we'd have these 22 new building sites for homes, and that was 22 new driveways directly on a county road, as opposed to, wait a minute, let's internalize, you create your internal road and then do this. So this is at least a first step, a stopgap to do that. Then the second part is flag lots. We've been pretty liberal in Upson County about permitting flag lots. I'm not sure exactly where the Board of Commissioners wants to go on this, but at least for right now, for 100 days, we got the moratorium on for that. And then something that was drafted into the major changes to the subdivision that we've been discussing since last August was closing the gap on what we call serial subdivisions or splits. Basically, you don't have to go through an administrative review or to the planning commission if you just split a parcel in two. Okay, well then I split it in two this week, and next week I split it in two again, and we don't have anything against that currently in the ordinance. And we haven't had huge abuse, but it's been done a couple of times, and the Board of Commissioners wants to put a stop to that too. So, there had been some discussion about, let's take maybe those big amendments that we proposed back in August in piece as well, this sort of does that. This will take some of those pieces out of the subdivision ordinance and maybe a little bit in the zoning ordinance. What you're going to see next is that we've been asked, now that this moratorium's in place, to draft you an ordinance. So obviously, you will be the first ones to see the language. Certainly, if you got any ideas about what you'd like to see in the language, or you've seen a city or your county that's got good stuff in their ordinance, that would be great. I can't promise it'll be next month. We'll just have to see how the workload goes, and I'll talk to the county manager. He and I were sort of tasked with this together. He actually drafted up the resolution. I just contributed some language. So you're going to see this again in a month or two, where we actually have an ordinance with ordinance changes drafted up.
Okay. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add with this? We just work with you until we see the draft and go from there. Okay, and that's what we need to have a vote on that. A motion on this, Doug.
No,
okay,
that's just
have a
information
discussion
on
on it,
that.
okay.
You don't need to vote on that.
All right, moving on to other business, the Board of Commissioners workshop, April 9th, which is the 24 subdivision zoning ordinance amendment review, schedule in progress.
Right, that's not really, that was the meeting where this was all discussed, and that's why I'm bringing it up. There were a couple of other things, and the one that I really can't give you much information on is the letter B there, Technology Overlay Zoning District. Apparently, this was something that came through the IDA, and they talked to the county administrator, and they're going to do some sort of an overlay. I don't quite understand it. You will eventually be seeing it too. We already have 2 industrial zoning districts. I don't know why we need an overlay, but maybe I'm going to find out. So anyway, you can look forward to that work. Like I said, I'm pretty much in the dark on that one. It came up at the workshop, and I didn't know what it was, so, and they didn't educate me too much. So you'll be seeing this Technology Overlay Zoning District at some point in the near future also, whatever that means. And then, like I said, as you know, on your next agenda, you're going to have the amendments back. I sort of asked them if they, because you had said maybe we need a workshop with them, communicate on these ordinance changes and sort of understand where the Board of Commissioners wants to come from. I heard, I think just today, maybe a workshop is something that they're thinking about. Mr. Chairman, if you want to approach them again and say,
definitely
hey,
like to.
let's schedule that workshop.
Whatever we need to do to set up that workshop, I support that. To have a general idea for us to understand what they're looking at and what they're thinking, and combine with some of our thoughts and ideas on things, so that we can project forward. So
Well, at
that'd be
this
a
point,
great
all I
thing.
can tell you is they want to do the subdivision ordinance and those changes forward, because, again, that's stuff that some of it was in the draft changes, but now it's pushed forward in front of everything else. So.
Okay, can you pursue with setting up something with them, with a workshop with us?
Will do.
Okay. Any other suggestions,
I would
ideas?
prefer a Monday,
Prefer a Monday.
if possible, not necessary.
Sure.
If it's okay with everybody.
Monday works
That
for
was a
me.
selfish request.
No, I agree. Monday's my hectic, crazy day, but Monday would be better.
Okay, item 6, planning commission issues or announcements. Any planning commission issues or announcements?
I don't have any.
I don't have anything.
Then next, Mr. Doug, Secretary's issues and announcements.
Only one little thing that I discussed with Guadalupe today, and that's that, as you pointed out, we sort of missed the last Vincent training for the 101 class. What we found out, which I didn't know, is we can sign up early. So I think we've already signed up 2 of you already, even though the next 101 is in August. I think the only one we weren't sure about was Commissioner Murphy, and we'll have to get with him separately. But Commissioner Rush and Ms. Lewis, you signed up for August already for the 101 class, so they can't say that we didn't get you signed up. We took care of that this time. That's it from you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, well, we're pretty short and sweet tonight, people. We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Motion adjourned. 5:44 and 38.
That was almost.
Yeah.
Nick living next.
On the sidewalk.
So he's still, I still there? Okay. I didn't know if he was or not. I went down Southmore the other day and, I
Thank you.
wasn't, sure if he still lives there or not. Okay.
Yeah, that's still there. Always, kids all over. Somebody going here, there, young, moving this.
Yeah, I would have been shocked that he wasn't in the country. And like,
I think his wife probably had a lot to do with that. She wanted to be in town.